Hi everyone, this is Bahar Özocak, and today our guest is Vice President of Healthcare at Team from our US office, BURAK TANSUG. Welcome, BURAK.
Hi, how are you? Thanks for having me.
Good, good. Thanks for joining us today. So this is another one of our 2 minutes challenge videos during which my guests will try to answer my 5W1H questions. And the topic we'll be talking about today is quite tricky. Is the health system in US. We'll be talking about some pain points and some possible solutions that may create a difference. But first, let's hear about you, BURAK, before I start the timer and my questions for you.
Sure. Yeah, hi, my name is BURAK TANSUG. I've been in the professional services area for almost 25 years. I worked in different verticals, telecom, insurance. I worked a lot with agencies, and they do have obviously a variety of different clients from different verticals. But lately, my focus has been on the healthcare space. So I work with big pharma, mid-tier, biotechnology companies, and mostly on the data end. So like I do both project management, but also very hands-on with the data. So
Great, thank you for the introduction, BURAK. And now I will start the timer, and I will start the questions together with that. And let's see how long this will take.
sure.
All right. So, are you ready?
Yep.
All right. I'm starting. What are the main pain points or challenges in US healthcare system today?
Yeah, so probably at the top of the list, I would say the affordability. And I don't want to just keep it as one single metric. I think a very related metric to that is the patient outcome. So what is the benefit of the money that an average American spends on healthcare, and are the outcomes that they get justify the cost? I mean, the 28%, I believe, of all the healthcare spending is coming from consumers directly. This is their copays, deductibles. If they don't have insurance, they have to pay out of pocket. And an average American is spending about $10,000 every year. So the World Health Organization puts United States on the 36th or 37th in the ranking of all the developed nations. So in many other areas, America is leading the pack. But when it comes to healthcare, it's really lagging behind. So.
And who is affected the most by this problem?
Unfortunately, the small fish, which is the patient. So we are at the bottom of the food chain. Most of the decisions are, you would expect a patient's, procedures, health procedures are decided by the doctors, they are, but the insurance companies are playing a big role in those decisions. So, patients are affected the most, but then there's also this litigation culture. Like I say, if I go to have a small surgery, hey, this small surgery caused me pain for 3 months after the operation. Oh, you know what? I'm just going to sue the doctor. So the doctor, then the physicians or the healthcare community, then they have to protect themselves from these litigations. So it's just like a snowball effect.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I see. BURAK, when do you think these problems are felt or experienced the most?
I think it's difficult to probably frame it into one particular time frame. I think time-wise, what we need to mention is it's getting worse every year. Living in this country for about 25 years, I pretty much saw all my out-of-pocket expenses increase every year. In most families' budgets, that's one of the main items. God forbid something catastrophic happens, it can take you all the way to the bankruptcy. So.
Right, unfortunately, right. And as a team, how do we help our clients in this field, or how do we become a part of the solution? Which part of the puzzle are we related to?
Sure. Being a very hands-on group, of professionals in a Harriet team on the data, sorry, hands-on on the
Mhm.
data. So we understand the challenges. I mean, healthcare has a very specific set of challenges when it comes to information technology. At the top of the list is privacy, security. So we are very familiar with the HIPAA procedures as well as GDPR in EU. So you can, you can imagine anything from the data encryption to like, how to share data, like, how to anonymize the data, how to build complex metrics, how to merge two different data sets using different technologies. Could be API integration or could be fuzzy matching, you name it.
Mhm.
So, I mean, I cannot claim that, obviously we are a relatively small company. I cannot claim that we can solve everything under the sun when it comes to healthcare. But our deep
Sure.
culture in data and our experience in the field, I think, gives us an edge on
Mhm.
tackling some of these problems.
Mhm. Where do you think these solutions and services are needed most?
Uh, I think it's definitely again with the number one stakeholder, which is the patient. I mean, like there is a tremendous challenge in understanding the content in
Mhm.
terms of an average patient. I mean, you get like a code, you don't understand what it is. I mean, um, the standards of care are not measurable. Like,
Mhm.
like again, like I'm paying this much, but the outcome is this. Like how do we make it a measurable metric so that we can assess the improvement in the quality of care and the affordability. I mean, of course there are ways to do that to some extent, but because a huge part of this ecosystem is still a
Mhm.
black box in US.
Mhm.
Crossing the domain boundaries, like insurance people live in their world, physicians are in their world.
Mhm.
There are challenges with the public, especially with COVID. There's like more and more public health challenges. So like effectively, crossing these domain boundaries and working together, making sure that all the stakeholders, incentives are aligned. Because at the end of the day, like as a doctor, if
Mhm.
I'm not going to make enough money and I'm spending all that education and money on my MD degree, if I don't make enough money, like why would I become a doctor, right? So they have to make money. Insurance companies have to get their share. But I think at the end of the day, I mean, if we say that healthcare is a universal right,
Mhm.
I mean, the current system or the lack of efficiency and the standardization in the healthcare is a very good evidence that why this country is on the ranking 36 or 37 in the developed nations.
Yeah, yeah, I see. And the last question is, Burak, why would corporations in this sector would pick Eritim as one of their solution partners?
Um, Again, I think going back to our data culture, we know how
Mhm.
to bring data governance into an organization. Building that information architecture, like, picking the right tools and yet have a tool agnostic approach to the information architecture and the data governance in general. So, we have a lot of experience both in healthcare and in some other verticals, but I mean, I'm gonna just speak for my area in healthcare.
Mhm.
We do
Mhm.
understand the space, like, and we understand the data challenges, and data governance is at the top of this. Like, you need to, sort of like tame your data, and
Yeah,
put the right checks and balances so that you don't have privacy and security issues.
yeah,
So again, I think our data entrenched culture is the answer to this.
yeah, yeah. And that would also help to connect the dots,
Right.
fill the
Absolutely. Yeah.
gaps,
Exactly.
right? Great,
Exactly.
great.
Exactly.
Burak, thank you so much. We went over our time a little, which was expected.
Yeah, I do this all the time. Sorry about that. Yeah.
But no problem, because this was really valuable information we got from you. Not surprising, unfortunately, but I hope everybody will work on this and we will be a part of this solution. And thank you for joining us today
Thank you
for
very much
your
for
for
having me.
your
It's been
time and have a great day. Thanks
you
again.
too. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.